Hello, everybody. Tracy Mrs. JDog Flanagan with you here today. I'm the co-founder and senior vice president at JDog Brands. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Tactical Treasures podcast, sponsored by the JDog Foundation. Our podcast gives the military community a voice in the veteran space to share their stories of service, how they continue to make a difference in civilian life, and they share with me a tactical treasure that has shaped their journey in their military career, business, or life. Today, I am honored to speak with Nathan Baynes, who is a U.S. military veteran and the entrepreneur behind Two Street Sammys, an award-winning Philadelphia area sandwich brand. From 2000 to 2008, Nathan served in the 11th Fighter Wing of the Pennsylvania Air National Guard. As a crew chief for the A-10 Thunderbolt II Warhog, he was responsible for the maintenance and flight readiness of one of the military's most iconic aircraft, a role that demanded absolute precision and operational excellence. Nathan transitioned those leadership skills into the culinary world, building Two Street Sammys from a single food truck into a decorated regional staple. Known for creative, bold takes like brisket and jerk chicken cheesesteaks, the brand has earned titles including Philly Favorite Food Truck and Metro Philly Best Food Truck. Today, Nathan operates both the original food truck and a permanent location at Ridge Hall Food Hall in Ambler, Pennsylvania, continuing to expand the brand through catering and community partnerships. Hello, Nathan. Welcome to Tactical Treasures. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you so much for your service to our country.
Well, thanks, Tracy. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I'm excited for our discussion today, although I do have a couple questions about the military. What inspired you to join the PA Air National Guard?
Well, I was looking for some direction and help in paying for college. And the National Guard, luckily, wasn't too far from me. And at the time, they were offering a lot of assistance. And I said, "All right, let's give it a shot. Let's have an adventure. Let's help pay for some further education."
Awesome. I love it. Um, so, is there a particular aspect or moment from your service that stood out as impactful in a positive way for you?
Well, there were many of those. Not one really sticks out in terms of me saying, "All right, this is exactly what I was hoping to get out of it." But along the way, I was able to pick up a lot of skills as well as confidence in my abilities and being able to handle, many situations moving forward. And then, of course, just the relationships you build with the other airmen along the way. Lifetime friendships. If we don't see each other for years sometimes and you see them again, it's just, you just pick up right where you were.
Yeah, those bonds that are formed are really strong, and it seems that even with passage of time, it's still there. The bond is still there, strong as ever.
It really is. And I find that amongst a lot of the veterans community as well.
You get out, you transition out, and I would love to know right now, you're the founder of Two Street Sammys. I would
Well,
love to know what that journey was like. How did you get started with
well,
that?
I had been in the food and beverage industry for a long time, and even through my time in college and time with the National Guard. And when I got out, I had decided to stay in the business. I'm a big fan of delicious food and a good time. Having done 3 tours in the Middle East, that was kind of absent in my life for a little while. So that certainly inspired me to um, to try and stay as close to that as possible. As well as, I wanted to take all the skills and confidence I learned in the National Guard and see if I could work for myself, see if I could build something from scratch and have a positive impact on people's lives, the personal experience that food creates with the guests. And then also being in a food truck, you get to have that direct experience with people. And that's something I was really drawn to.
Right, right. So tell me a little bit about Two Street Sammy's. Um, what do you do? What kind of delicious food do you serve?
Sure. So, Two Streets Sammy's is based off of Second Street or Two Street, locally referred to as in South Philly.
Mhm.
And, Philly's a sandwich town. So it was fairly easy to say, okay, what is the demand and how do we make it Philly style? So that's how we came up with the name. In terms of creating the menu, if you're doing sandwiches, you got to start with a cheesesteak.
Of
So,
course, it's Philly, right?
I mean, you really can't come to the table without attempting to make a good cheesesteak.
Yeah.
So that helped inspire the menu. I do a brisket cheesesteak, also do a jerk chicken cheesesteak to try and, add a little spice to the menu. And other South Philly staples, Italian pulled pork with the broccoli brave and the sharp provolone and long hots. It speaks to the character of Philadelphia and the neighborhoods that it's made up of. And, now that I've been doing it for nearly 10 years, I'm able to expand in the region and hopefully introduce them into these, more or less cultural staples, and branch out, try and expand the palates of everybody.
Right. And so do you have a storefront or just a truck? Just a food truck?
So the truck is my main focus. However, I have been operating out of a food hall in Ridge, I'm sorry, called Ridge Hall in Ambler, PA.
Okay.
It's been a collective out there, and we're establishing some roots.
Awesome. And when did you start this journey with Two Street Sammys?
I established my LLC in 2017.
Mhm. Awesome. That's amazing. You do work and you do some partnering with Salute to Service, correct?
Yes, yes.
I would love to hear, how did that relationship come about, and exactly what do you do with them?
Salute the service, and Rodney over there does incredible work working with veterans. Unfortunately, they don't seem to get a lot of the support they deserve and need
Hmm.
after, serving our country. So my wife, actually, Stephanie, is a PR and marketing rep who works with a lot of nonprofits, and this is how she found out about Salute to Service. And being a veteran and wanting to try and help and support as many of our veterans as possible, this was a really good connection. He helps find affordable housing, he helps find um, clothes, also just finding meals for some people. He's dealing with a lot of people who are kind of at their wits' end in a lot of respects, but he then offers a lot of hope and potential for them to get, in a more comfortable place.
Awesome. So, and do you step in and help with meals? Is that
I haven't done them directly, but I
okay?
do. I support. I support them through donations and through
Okay.
fundraising.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
I try to find the time to do as much as I can, but I have a young family and
Right.
two operations running at the same time. But
Right.
I don't want to get in the way of what their systems are, and find that offering them some financial support seems to be the most direct and easiest path to success.
Right, right, true. Um, so getting back to Two Street Sammy. So you have a physical location in Ridge Hall, and then you have the food truck. Do you provide catering, um, and kind of how does that work?
Yes, full service operation. Obviously, we do the food trucks. We are tailored to a lot of the larger events. We're into private events as well, a lot of graduations and what have you coming up. We're great to pull up in the driveway. You don't have to worry about anything. As well as catering, we do build large sandwich trays, of course. We do hot trays. We have been featured on Fox before,
Mm.
doing a plug for the catering. So yeah, full service. Wherever there are hungry people, we're willing to figure it out
You
for
spent
sure.
years following a mission. You understand discipline, grit, and the power of a team. But what happens when the uniform comes off? For the veteran and the military family, the desire to serve doesn't just disappear. At JDog, we don't just offer a job, we offer a new mission. We provide a proven path for you and your family to own a business that operates on the values you live by: respect, integrity, and trust. Join a national brotherhood of veterans and military families who are reclaiming their futures and leading their communities. Your next chapter isn't just about a career, it's about building a legacy. To learn more, go to jdog.com. Right. So sometimes you actually take the food truck to a catering event or
Yes, yeah, it's again, it's really it's a lot of fun, and it's great for the the customers throwing a party, and they don't want to have
hmm
to worry about figuring out who's going to pick the food up, where to order it from,
right.
and then clean it up and everything else. Where I pull in, I fire up the grill, feed everybody till they're full, and then we take everything with us. You don't have to worry about anything but enjoying the food.
Oh, wow. How convenient. I love it. That's really great. What is your, I guess, what does your next couple years look like for the business? How are you hoping to expand?
Well, currently I'm concentrating on this new location in Ambler.
hmm
Um, and then ideally, I would love to set up a system that would work in a lot of different areas and partner with some other entrepreneurs who are looking to get into the food business. Um, I have recently become partners with a gentleman who's going to basically handle a lot of the marketing and a lot of the financing. And then I get to concentrate on what I'm good at, which is developing the menu, creating the systems, and doing the training to make sure it's a very smooth, very simple way to create delicious food.
Right, right. Oh, I love that. That's a great vision. Um, and is can people go to your website and say order or set up a catering situation?
Yes, yes, you can do everything on the website, including book the truck, order catering, order pickup, order delivery. You know, luckily these days you can get everything you need in one place on the internet. So yeah, if you
Right.
go to twostreetsammys.com, you can find all your delicious needs right there. Very simple.
Awesome. And how when people request catering, how I know you're kind of concentrated in the South Philly Ambler area. How far do you go out for catering or hosting an event?
Yeah, good question. So with the truck, I'm willing to go, you know, I try to keep it within an hour. But
Okay.
if you're going to offer me $50,000 to feed 15 people, I'll drive to Baltimore. Um, but when it comes to drop off catering and what have you, you know, we try to keep it a little more local. And then, of course, with pickup and delivery, you know, it kind of depends on the service, but we like to keep that a little more hyper local. We're trying to make sure everything is fresh. We want to make sure that we're we're keeping the standard of quality that we establish.
Right, right. That's great information. Thank you for clarifying all of that. Um, this is amazing. I'm if I I'm gonna have to look you up the next time I'm in Philadelphia and check out your sandwiches. They sound delicious.
Yeah,
Um,
yes, please do. And of course, bring 35 of your friends with you. I'll be happy to take care of you.
right. Sure will. Um, so Nathan, we've come to the time in our podcast where I have to ask you a very important question. I would love to know what your tactical treasure is. What has helped you in your journey in life or even when you were serving in the military?
Well, I think that the time I've spent in and around the restaurant business, as well as in the military, the most important thing to do is to stay calm and rely on your instincts.
Mm,
Now, in the military, you get training that is, it's incremental. Every year, you are, reintroduced to maybe the new approaches, but it's over and over. So if something happens, you don't have to think; you just react. And this translates quite a bit to the restaurant business because
mm,
things can get hectic real quick. Things can ramp up real quick. And if you start overthinking, that's just going to put you literally in the trenches. So that is really what I've learned. And I think that's one of my greatest assets is being able to take otherwise hectic situation and look at it in a broad view and say, okay, we're just going to take this slow. We're going to make it sure that it's done correctly, and we're not going to overreact to it. And we're going to
uh,
learn from it.
yeah, I love that. That's a great tactical treasure. And I'm sure it translates into other areas as well of life. Calmness, keep your peace in the midst of chaos, right?
Sure, and with an 8-year-old daughter, that certainly helps as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Huh. I know. I think parenting probably tests all of our patience and peace and calmness. Yeah.
Yes, yes, well worth it, of course.
Yes, of course. Um, so, Nathan, any advice for fellow veterans struggling with transition and finding their next chapter in life?
Yeah, I would try to find as much local support as you can, um, and try to, be a part of something supportive. If you can find the family and the friends who are around, as well as, there are a lot of resources you can find online anymore, not
Mhm.
just Salute to Service, but in your, local area, I'm sure there are places to find that support. And there
Yeah.
are others out there going through these struggles, like a lot of Americans. And I think the best way to approach that is to, find your community.
I think that's excellent advice. I hear that a lot. Find your next tribe.
Yeah.
Um, So, where can people find and connect with you? Where can they find more information on Two Street Sammys and Salute to Service?
Well, it's as easy as going to 2streetsammys.com. That's where you're going to find most of the information. That's where you'll be able to do your ordering, as we had spoken about. But also, again, I'm married very well, and my wife and her skills have got me out there in a lot of different media forms, and will help you find out where we are, what we do, and how we'd like to support the community and especially veterans.
Mm,
Fortunately, it's easy enough now just to put it in a Google search.
right, sure. Yeah, that's great information. Thank you. We'll certainly get the word out. Nathan, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing about your delicious Sammys. And we'll certainly get the word out and let everybody know where they can order and have you come and bring the food truck for an event.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you again for all that you're doing for veterans and trying to get the word out to get them more support as they
Thank,
might need.
thank you. Thank you for your time. Hello, viewers and listeners. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Tactical Treasures podcast. We've just finished up an amazing conversation with Nathan Baynes, a veteran and the founder and driving force behind Two Street Sammys. He built this brand from the ground up, starting with a single food truck in 2017 and growing it into a Philadelphia powerhouse. As a regional staple, they now have a permanent location at Ridge Hall Food Hall in Ambler, Pennsylvania. Known for creative takes on comfort food like brisket and jerk chicken cheesesteaks, the brand has been featured on WMMR's Camp Out for Hunger, 6ABC, and Fox, earning titles like Metro Philly's Best Food Truck. Whether it's at major festivals, office parks, or private parties, Nathan and his team bring high quality catering and a passion for hospitality to every event. To learn more, go to two, and two is spelled TWO, streetsammys.com. Deeply committed to the veteran community, Two Street Sammys proudly partners with Salute to Service to give back to those who have served. Salute to Service was founded in 2013 by retired veterans representative and Armed Forces veteran Rodney Wyatt, and is dedicated to providing outreach programs to veterans and their families in need. They strive to ensure that those who sacrifice for our country have the ability to reach their full potential personally and professionally. Some of what they do includes emergency assistance, panic healing service through Zoom, career guidance and job search assistance, help obtaining medical records and other documents related to service, community outreach, and weekly grocery giveaway. To learn more, go to salute2service.org. And two is the number two. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, you can find Tactical Treasures Podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms, on our website, tacticaltreasurespodcast.com, as well as our dedicated YouTube channel. As an official radio partner, Tactical Treasures is now airing on Reese Across America Radio on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern for the encore. You can also find Reese Across America Radio on the iHeartRadio app, the Odyssey app, and the TuneIn app. JDog is honored to be an official Reese Across America sponsorship group. When you sponsor a $17 Veterans Wreath through our group, $5 goes straight to the JDog Foundation to help heal our heroes. Your contribution directly supports our mission to prevent veteran suicide and provide lasting mental health and PTS resources. You can donate right now at reaseacrossamerica.org/JDog. Again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again on another podcast real soon.